Good morning, I'm Elizabeth Elias, and this is Miss Rupert Leach's Introduction to Communication class. A communication practicum project is on Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The Grinch was rejected and teased as a small child, and he secluded himself to the top of Mount Crumpet to get away from the Christmas cheer and inconsiderate, wasteful citizens of Whoville. He was unwanted, mean, and at disgust with the Happy Who's. This year, his idea is to steal Christmas, until a curious and young girl named Cindy Lou Who changes that all around. With the help of his fellow friends, family, and persistence of a little girl, the Grinch agreed to come down. The setting is taken in a snowflake, in Whoville, and Mount Crumpet. And the main characters are the Grinch, his dog Max, Cindy Lou Who, her parents Betty and Lou Who, Mayor Augustus May Who, and Martha May Huvier. The elements concerning the characteristics of communication, which is also the participants or components that mold the style of communication, is the sender, the receiver, and the noise. Cindy Lou Who reaches out to the Grinch and to the citizens of Whoville to bring happiness. The Grinch is stubborn and has his mind set on a plan to steal Christmas. So when Cindy reaches out to him, he doesn't really want to listen. He's hurt and unforgiving to the people that teased him as a child. The noise is the background of what had stopped, what is making them not communicate in the way that they want to, is bullying in the Grinch's childhood and adult life that led to miscommunication and unacceptance. Quick look. Mayor Augustus May, who was announcing to the town that the Grinch is not welcome, or to be spoken of. They shouldn't go to Mount Crumpet and talk to him because of his hate for Christmas. Cindy Lou Who also isn't feeling Christmas spirit, so she reaches out to her father, Lou Who, as she feels just as clueless as she did before. Everyone is busy, and it doesn't seem as fun and happy to her, like something's missing, and her dad was very discombobulated when she was trying to reach out to him. There's only bad listening skills interpreted in the scene. The external and internal barriers. Internal barriers are barriers within ourselves, and external are within the other people we're communicating with. Cindy Lou Who picked a very busy and crowded street full of Who shopping and preparing for the Whovilation to talk to her father. And Lou is distracted in his own thoughts, looking for his wife and holding a bundle of packages. A personal environment, sitting down and being face to face, would give both characters the opportunity to listen and engage in the conversation. He couldn't understand what she was really asking. Listening skills suggestions for her dad was to hear the message clearly, avoid internal and external barriers and noise, use eye contact and stay focused on Cindy to interpret the message, evaluate the message by letting her finish and showing that you understand. If the message is heard and understood, an appropriate response would have been given instead of an off-topic answer, or in this case, when he said, "Go ask your mother." Culture is the different traditions or how you, as a town, perceive yourselves, and in the Grinch, there's two different cultures. The Who's are all they're all the same, and they're happy and joyful for Christmas. The main culture captivated in the Grinch is the Who's. They live in a snowflake, and they're always in the Christmas spirit. Celebrations, parades, shopping, food, and family is what brings the town together. The Grinch was born different than the rest of the Who's, with green skin and hairy features, And as a child, he was unwanted, and he secluded himself from being bullied, and he believed that Christmas was a waste and had no true meaning. Because it was all about the gifts and the presents, and they all ended up in the garbage in the top of Mount Crumpet every year. 3 elements of culture, dominant cultures, would be the Who's. They share the same culture and holiday cheer and are the majority over the Grinch. He does not celebrate holidays or share the same rituals as the Who's. Cultural characteristics and communication. The Grinch prefers to be alone without noise, while the Who's communicate through laughter, joy, and celebration. In ways that they could have improved their intercultural communication, instead of ignoring the Grinch for so long, the Who should respect the differences and be accepting. No matter how different he was, or for him not having a love for Christmas, the Grinch should not mock the holiday celebration by causing chaos, and equal respect should be given through both parties. The verbal communication in the Grinch. In this clip, the Grinch is stealing a Christmas trees throughout the village, and Cindy Lou Who stops him at her house, and she mistakes him for Santa, and she reminds Santa that don't forget the Grinch. I know he's mean and hairy and smelly. His hands might be cold and clammy, but I think he's actually kind of sweet. And she knows that even though she's not feeling the Christmas spirit and nobody really accepts the Grinch, she shouldn't be forgotten this year like he has in the past. And it's really the Grinch listening, and he starts to feel some different emotions through the verbal communication. I chose connotation and polarization is pursued when Cindy tells Santa that he's sweet, and so the Grinch hides behind the Christmas tree, and he kind of fiddles with the ornament, and his face changes because he's like, "Oh, someone cares about me." And then staff evaluation would be that he's still gonna stick with how he felt, like even though his emotions changed, but he's still gonna stick with the original plan, which was stealing Christmas. Even though he felt sad and heartbroken after realizing what Christmas was about, whenever, who's after they saw that their Christmas trees and all the presents were gone, they still came together and they sang a song. And he realized that it's about sharing your joy with your family and friends, not just presents. In nonverbal communication, when Cindy Lou Who was trying to invite the Grinch to accept an award, she went up to Mount Crumpet and she offered for him to come down and accept an award in front of the whole town. And it was the nonverbal communication that was speaking louder than the nonsense the Grinch was saying. So even though he was acting like a psycho, because that's what they all seen him to be, so he tried to keep that that look, and he was acting crazy. But she laughed in his face, and she knew that that's not who he really was, that he was a real person on the inside. He changed his tone of voice, pretending to care. Like, thank you so much. This could change my whole life. And then he lets her out through a trap door. So you gotta pay attention to what people are not saying sometimes. The verbal and nonverbal communication in the scene where Cindy Lou Who interviews people of the Grinch's past is she asks them different memories, that they remember his disappearance, and they spoke of like their personal feelings. Mark and May got really excited and spoke of her true feelings from the Grinch, even though Cindy didn't ask. But it's the body language and tone of voice that told her what they were really trying to say versus what they were perceiving. Um, Tensions can put a block to our communication and the way we show our true feelings. Its anger can be built. In this scene, the dialectical tensions they cause a relationship to change constantly. So, as a child, he was teased at school for his different appearance, except for Martha, who seemed to have a crush on him, and they shared similar connection and attraction to each other, but they kept their feelings closed. So until Christmas Spirit got his confidence up to make her a special gift, to his dismay, the children pointed and laughed at his hideous homemade present for Martha May, and this built up a lot of anger that he had, and um, and he got really upset and reacted negatively from all the built-up tension throughout his life, and he threw the present in the Christmas tree, declaring his hatred for Christmas. And this deteriorated the interpersonal relationship that he shared with Martha May. And as he got older, they both still share the same emotions for each other. Many years after running away, the Grinch returned as an adult to make amends with the Who's of Whoville, thanks to Cindy. The mayor gifted the Grinch with a reminder of his past, triggering the same tension, which caused him to destroy the Christmas tree, leading to his plot to steal Christmas. With Martha May on his mind, he planned to return the gifts and bear his true emotions. So he sped down the mountain with Cindy Lou, who slave gifts offering an apology. The novelty and spontaneous act brought back the sparking relationship. And conflict is also another. It can go both ways. It can hurt the communication or it can build the communication. By the way that you go about, the way that you talk about the conflict. So Mayor Augustus Mayhew and Grinch had not a good relationship as children and as adults. So they both kind of let their emotions get the better of their relationship. They both liked Martha May, but she liked the Grinch. So the mayor won over Carla by making fun of him and trying to downsize him so that she can see him the way that everyone else sees him. But the only way that Mayor Augustus, who can show his love for Martha, was by giving her presents, a car, a big ring. The conflict was solved when Martha realized that the mayor showers her in gifts, but her true love has always been the Grinch because he shows her emotion, how he truly feels. Okay, so my final evaluation on the movie is communication affects the way that we see ourselves and others in a positive and or negative ways. In How the Grinch Stole Christmas, communication turns the plot around because the majority of the characters shared the same culture. Most communication happiness was expressed non-verbally. They all shared a non-spoken bond and understanding for each other. Yet, when someone did speak up with feeling different, the idea was avoided and alienated because they were all so happy, so they just didn't understand why someone would feel that way. I think that the conflicts between the Grinch and the mayor could have been solved if there was no bullying and they let Martha May decide who she liked. We have to accept that life is not always going to please us, but to stay pleased, we must be happy with that. Cindy Lou Who used her emotions and loneliness and reached out to find an answer. I think her boldness helped the Grinch realize that staying angry and avoiding the conflict was never the answer because he felt the same way as a child, but he ran away from it instead. And then here are my resources. I watched The Grinch from Hulu and I got some information from the book. I enjoyed this project and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.